So I popped over because Mike, another plot holder, he's taken on a plot that's got some overgrown fruit trees on. I'll pop a video at the end where I go really in depth in it, but let's pop down there. Let's do our good deed for the new year and prune his trees back, because he said he didn't have a clue. So let's get down there and have a look. So now those trees are pruned back, I think I'm going to pop out to the garden centre. I desperately need to pick up my Charlotte potatoes, and I'm hoping to get some international kidneys. You know, the ones that they call Jersey Royals. I want to get some of those. I also want to get some pink fir apples, but my main thing is the Charlottes and the international kidneys, because they were beautiful last year. So let's go over, let's have a little look around, and fingers crossed I don't buy loads of things.
Sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane, and as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer on our skin.
So I'm back from the garden centre. I wasn't too bad. I ended up buying 2 bags of Charlotte and 1 pink fir apple. Couldn't get the international kidneys, which I'm a little bit disappointed about, but I'll have a look online, or I'll have a look. So I might have a bucket in the back of the polytunnel that I could use as safe seed. So I'm going to sort out the polytunnel today, because it's a bit of a mess. I use it all through winter as a bit of a warehouse, bit of a storage area. But spring is coming up, you know, it's creeping up quickly, so I want to make sure that's all ready in there as well for spring. I have been sowing seeds like no tomorrow. The sweet peas are done. I've done some rocket, loads of lettuces. I've done all my onions, spring onions, so make sure you've got some of those things in now as well. Grow them on indoors, and also then, you know, you can put them in your polytunnel as well, and once they sprout, they'll be good to go for spring. But let me show you what arrived as well that I want to show you. I'm really excited about these because they are absolutely beautiful. So Cheryl was showing me the cloches that she really likes and she's ordering, and I was really tempted. And how beautiful are these? They've got a lovely handle on them, and they'll just be perfect for overwintering things in the polytunnel, and also for starting things off for spring in the garden. But I'll show you now where they can go. So how beautiful are these? I am absolutely in love with them. They look stunning, they're rigid, and yeah, they were a couple of pennies more than I like to spend, but I love the handles on them, the detail, and they'll just be perfect. They're nice and clear, so the sunlight will get in. They'll protect things, because I'm a little bit worried about future snow. So I keep looking at the weather, and it's been trying for weeks, but they keep saying that snow is on its way. So I'm a little bit worried about some of the things that are coming up, like my spring bulbs and stuff. They'll be okay, but some of them are already starting to flower. You know, they're showing little tiny flowers on them. So if that happens, I want to make sure I can cloche them. Or even if you haven't got cloches, make sure you put some poles over and some tarp over the top, cover them up, even if it's just for a couple of days. You can also use like a cardboard box with a little hole in it, just get some ventilation, just to keep that snow from crumpling and that's trampling all over your beautiful flowers. But let me show you the genius thing about these. They fit on the long bed as well, which I'm thrilled about, because that was the thing that I was a little bit concerned about, because these will be perfect for starting off. When I put my beans in here, I can at least then start them off and they'll be protected, and I can bury it down a little bit, and hopefully it'll keep the slugs off a bit as well. Now you're also probably wondering, you know, like how do they stay down, like the wind blows them on? They do give you some pegs with them. However, the ones that did come with them, I must admit, they were just normal bog standard tent pegs, and they weren't very deep, you know, they wouldn't go into the soil very deep. So I went to the garden centre and found these. These ones have got a bit of a hook over them on the top, and also they're a good, you know, a good depth as well. So I'm going to use these to pin it down, and hopefully that'll help it as well with the wind. If not, if it becomes a storm, I'll either put them indoors or I can strap them over and protect them that way as well. But yeah, I personally love a cloche. I've got quite a few of them now, but these ones are probably they're the fancy ones, you know. They're the cloches for best on a Sunday. I also forgot to charge my camera battery, so luckily, just like I've mentioned before, I brought the bluetti over, I plugged it in, and my camera batteries now will start charging while I'm at the plot, so I haven't got to run home and get them. So they're good to go there now. They're charging up really nice. Now, I know some are probably saying, like, are they needed? You know, do you really need to be splashing out on them? No, you don't. This is a hobby of mine, and I like, you know, I like spending on my garden. That's one of the only areas really where I do splash out a little bit. So I just think if I enjoy it that much, then why not, you know? If you like to make a menu, absolutely perfect as well. I'll be doing that as well. But things like this, you know, sometimes it's just nice to have something that looks a bit pretty as well, doesn't it? Some of you might have noticed as well that I've started putting out videos on a Tuesday or a Wednesday on top. If you haven't, go and have a look at that. I'll put it at the end of this video anyway. But yeah, I've just started putting like some tutorials or some, they won't be as long as these videos, but maybe about 5 or 6 minutes long. And they'll just be little tips and tutorials and things that I feel like, you know, I could add to my channel, because sometimes people ask me questions like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I just think it'll be easier if I have a video on it, and then later on then I can say, go and watch this video. It just seems easier for me to do it that way. So if you notice now through, you know, through winter and spring that I'm starting to do some how-to videos, give it a comment, give it a like, and give it a watch, and that also helps the channel as well. Right, let's sort the polytunnel out. So there's a little bit of mesh here, but it's not too bad, but it's definitely been used as some kind of storage area. I've still got plenty of potatoes in the buckets. The cabbage are looking okay. There's a bit of algae growth on the top of the beds, which I need to deal with. But overall, it's not looking too bad. I want to as well. I want to take out this wheelbarrow of used compost as well. And I want to take it outside and put it in this bed. I have put some veg scraps already underneath. It's had another layer of compost, but I want to put that other wheelbarrow of compost in. So I think what's happened is the condensation has dropped onto the bed and it's formed this algae layer on you. It won't be too bad, you know. I'll disturb it and I'll probably mulch this bed a little bit more. But the cabbages, I've noticed, they're getting a little bit of a nibble. There must be a slug or snail that have snuck in here as well now. So that's something I have to keep an eye on. But they're looking all right. They're looking okay. The potatoes have started sprouting now. These are the Charlottes. So, but I'm looking. International kidneys. That's the ones I'm looking for. Oh, there's another one. So I'm happy. So it means I've got 2 buckets of international kidneys in there. I'm going to take them out of the soil now and dry them out a little bit, and then hopefully they'll start chitting. And yeah, at least I've got some. But I also am looking for some potatoes to take home. I'm hoping for some pink furs. So we've probably got some here. So I think we'll do a potato harvest. Let's do one. So we've got one here that's pink fur. So let's hope for the best. Let's have a look. Yes. See what I mean? It's now middle of January. And look at the pink fir apples that have been stored in this bucket for so long. Definitely having potatoes for tea. God, so many. I'm happy with this. So let's finish off the bucket. There should be some at the bottom as well. Yeah. Wow. God, look at all of these. There is literally masses of them. Now, these are in a beautiful potato. So I bought these from the garden centre already, so I'm tempted to take that bag back and swap it for something else. But they are a knobbly potato, very funny shape. but the taste, the taste is amazing. It's got a little bit of a nutty taste to it, but flavour wise, one of the best potatoes I've ever had. But they are a nightmare if you want to peel them and stuff, but the size they are, I tend to just steam them as they are. So there is so many in here, so many. I might have to use the wheelbarrow just to make sure I get them all. Yep. God, look at them. I am so happy with that harvest, so happy, so happy. And I think, I'm not going to eat them all, so I think I'll share them with some of the other plot holders today. I'm sure they'll be happy with them. God, so many. From one bucket as well. Still more. Look at that. What a harvest. From 4 seed potatoes about this size. And I've got, God, look how many. I am absolutely over the moon with that. So it just goes to show that you don't need to take them all out of the soil, put them all in sacks. I tend to leave them in the buckets, inside my polytunnel greenhouse, and they store forever. They store for ages, but you need them out now. This is probably the last port of call really, because they'll start sprouting, because the polytunnel start getting warmer, it'll start thinking it's spring, and then they'll start creating more. So I will keep a few behind, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna need that pink fir apple bag. Do you? So there's a little bit of good luck. I've actually harvested some international kidneys as well. I'll now let them dry out a little bit on the side, and then they'll start chitting. So I won't have to buy any this year, so I'm happy about that. So this is all the spent compost that I had in the buckets last year. I probably will get a volunteer potato or 2 in this bed, but at least with this I can just pull them all out. But I will check now just in case. But let's get this in first. Yeah, quite a few potatoes. But they'll be used. And they look like Charlottes. Let's get a trug. So when using old compost, make sure if you're putting it in your beds that nothing's in them. I mean, this will turn into another plant, and it's not too bad. It's not like they're gonna take over the bed or anything, but it's just another job that you don't really need to do, so do it now. But I mean, I'll eat these for my tea tonight, so it's a win-win. But these tiny little ones, just like that, could turn into a plant. But there's quite a few in here. There's pink fir apples in here. Right, let's have a look through this bed. There you go. So yeah, these little ones, these tiny little potatoes, they could become possible headaches in spring. But there's a few, there's a few pink fir apples, some Charlottes. So yeah, check your compost before you put it into the beds. This bed is slowly filling up now. I still haven't put the trim around this one. This one I have, and yeah, these are extra compost bags. I'm just using just to top, you know, cover the bed at the moment. So I'm waiting for my cardboard. I've got quite a pile of it to bring over. But for now, I've covered it over with this. So, look. So I've decided to fill this up with as much spent compost as I can get. And also then some of the bag compost there. And then cloche it. But then the idea is that I've got some pak choys and some mustards and some plants that could come out and be overwintered outside. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do my first planting out here for spring salads.
Someone else, no one
So I've interplanted some pak choys, green and red ones, with some guardsman spring onions. Now they don't mind a bit of cold, so they'll be okay interplanted in between these, and they should be good to go. So let's just pop them in here. Do you know, it looks so nice just being able to plant it out. The soil's still a bit cold, but with the cloche on top, should be all right. I've got some beautiful Japanese charge here as well. So let's get a cloche to measure how much space I've got. I think that looks actually really nice. So nice and protected in here now from the wind and pigeons and whatnot. So let's see how they get on. So spring is almost here now, and I'm starting to feel that I'm ticking off all the major jobs. This plot is looking amazing. I've had a few people ask about the grapevine garden. I'm holding back from showing you because I'm doing some work down there, and I still got my fruit cage to build. There's a few structures that might be changing as well, but there's a lot of work going on down there as well behind the scenes. So before long I'll be doing a plot tour down there and a plot tour up here. But yeah, things are starting to tick off now, and I'm so pleased. I'm sure you're doing the same. Sowing your seeds now ready. Don't go too crazy. Don't fill up all your trays. Just do the ones that you need to do now, like sweet peas, onions, chilies, peppers, maybe a few tomatoes, but I'm holding back until February for them. But start some lettuces now as well, so that you've got some early, you know, salads in spring. I'm Danny, and this is the Grapevine Garden.